Welcome back to Pens Pulse. I'm Michelle Crecchiolo. I've been the team reporter for the Pittsburgh Penguins since 2010, and over the years, I've seen a growth in women holding positions that have been historically held by men. As the NHL celebrates Gender Equality Month, it is my honor to highlight some of the females within the Pittsburgh Penguins organization who are pushing boundaries and changing perceptions in the sports world.
I'm really impressed with the number of women staff members we have in the organization now. We are around 32%, close to 32% women staff, and I think it's important for the Pittsburgh Penguins and any organization to acknowledge the value and the contributions that their women staff bring to the organization, especially in sports. People look at hockey and they think, oh, women don't work in the front office or they don't work in hockey operations, but we in fact do.
There's the Penguin locker room. You can see the shirts there already planted. Cindy Himes, Penguin Public Relations Director.
I was hired as the Director of Public Relations in 1984, and at that time there were only 2 other females in the NHL that held that position, so I was the third. I guess I did okay because I held that job for over 10 years.
In the whirlwind of back-to-back cups, while Mario and the team hoisted Lord Stanley for the second consecutive season, Cindy was standing in the runway before noticing something unusual.
Mario, Alfie, and Kevin, everybody starts coming towards me, coming towards the runway to go off the ice, and I'm thinking, they didn't do that big group photo yet. And so when Mario reaches me, I said to him, Mario, whoa, you've got to go back out. You've got to go out and do the big group photo. Next thing you know, the whole group follows Mario. They all make a U-turn and go back out to center ice, all fall together and get one of the best group photos, I think.
So there would be no team photo without Cindy.
Well, you'd have one, but it would have been later.
Himes hasn't been the only female in the Penguins organization to break barriers. In March of 2021, Katarina Wu was added to the Hockey Operations Department as a data scientist. In her role, Wu is using analytics to support the general managers and other personnel in their decision-making process, as well as calling in the pick for the Pens on draft day.
We all know that's a big part of the scouting world right now is analytics, so it's nice to have a different set of eyes from a youthful standpoint because you want to hear different ideas and different thoughts. So I was really happy with the job they did in the last few days.
In the fall of 2021, the Penguins made another history-making hire when they added 2-time Olympic champion Chrissy Wendell-Pohl to their scouting team.
She's got a terrific resume in terms of her playing career, and when we were looking for an amateur scout in Minnesota, she was one of the names that popped up, and we ended up hiring her. She's really enjoying it. She's done a really good job for us, and she's very invested in it, which was important for us.
Earlier this year, the Pens took on the Jets in Winnipeg, and play-by-play duties for Sportsnet fell on Leah Hextall, cousin to Penguins general manager Ron Hextall.
Heinen's in on it as well, up top. Here's the long shot from the point, and there it is in the back of the net. Danton Heinen with the goal, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are up 2-1.
Leah being the first woman to host play-by-play, I think is terrific. I've had the good fortune of watching her a few times. I enjoy her broadcast, and I think she's getting better by the game. It's an area that we obviously need to improve our gender equality, and we're in the process right now.
Needless to say, all of these women have made a name for themselves within the sports industry. And someone who thrives behind the scenes is Jennifer Bolano Ridgely, Vice President of Communications, where she sometimes refers to herself the Chaos Coordinator.
We're down to 13 seconds to go. One-timer, rifled on net by Zibanejad and off the arm of Jari. 6.5 seconds to go.
Well, congrats. You also have media. Kind of figured that, huh? Obviously, says a lot about the team to hold on to a 1-0 game. You're going to have to talk about their goaltender for sure. But I thought ours was pretty good as well. Hello. Questions for Coach. 1, 2, 3. Josh? I went to Penn State for PR, and I knew that I wanted to do something that wasn't in the Monday through Friday 9 to 5, but I didn't know what it was. Ended up coming back home and going to school at Point Park University for my MBA with a concentration in sports arts and entertainment management, where I was fortunate to meet Tom McMillan, who's Vice President of Communications for the Penguins, and he's probably my biggest mentor, and I was able to get a graduate internship at the Penguins in 05-06, and I have been here ever since.
Following Jen's internship, she was hired as the manager of media relations. 1 month later, her boss resigned.
That led to my first time in the locker room, where the general manager at the time, Ray Shero, put his hand on my shoulder and said, "All right, kid, it's sink or swim." And it was really tough for women to break into sports, but especially hockey. You know, some buildings at first were, "Oh, is your PR guy here?" Yeah, I am the PR guy. It's me, I'm him. Now I look back, and I hadn't been to Toronto in almost 3 years, and recently went, and the ushers were like, "Where were you?" We were like, "Where's Jen?" And it's nice to see that now, but it wasn't always the case. And this interview right now is a testament to there are more women in sports, because there's one behind the camera and one asking me the questions. So that's all positive, but the Penguins led the way with hiring females, and I'm proud to have a female on my own staff. I think it speaks volumes for how far women have come, and I truly do believe that. I got the opportunity at a young age, I got a lot of responsibility at a young age, and I don't take that for granted.
From professional athletes to youth hockey players, women across all departments are impacting the game.
Oh, who's gonna get her? Who's gonna get her? Oh, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it! Nice! Shoot, shoot! There it is!
So I started out playing when I was about 5 or 6 years old in Colorado, where I grew up, and ended up going to Boston College and played 4 years of Division I NCAA college hockey there. Then, fortunate enough, got a job at USA Hockey in membership development, basically to grow the game and try and get more kids involved in the sport. So I worked there for 8 years before starting with the Penguins. The NHL recognizes March as Gender Equality Month, so all of the clubs do a little bit something. Specifically with the Penguins, we've done her hockey skills clinics and get on the ice with myself as well as some other female coaches. In addition, we're doing a couple of special things at the Her Hockey game coming up. We'll have a female junior starter as well as a all-female intermission. Again, just to show that the possibilities exist. If I can be that role model or kind of open somebody else's eyes to the possibilities in the roles that are available to them, it's certainly powerful.
I would say that representation matters. We see across the league women serving in roles as assistant GMs, player development, play-by-play announcers, and scouts. So here at the Pittsburgh Penguins, we can look at the examples that are out there, and we too can fulfill these roles with women, strong women.